we are meeting here on the Cardinal Talk Show. A show that ventilates and brings so much information about political happenings that are currently going on. Like it has been this week and even the weeks preceding this week, it has been a moment of loaded political sentiment. Political sentiments that sometimes border on what is supposed to be the disclosure of perhaps some betrayal of sorts, politics that is supposed to paint others in another way. But all the same, why we are here today is that we want to see the state of politics today, what is there. Right now, there are 3 or 2 coalitions that are formidable in this country: Kenya Kwanza, Oka, and Azimio la Umoja. All these are coalitions that are bringing together our political leaders who think and believe differently. And that is why today we want to see what is their state of preparedness as a people. And discussing that, we want to see even the strategies that they are involving in their campaigns. And we also want to look at what is possible. This time around, we are looking at a president who has refused to be a lame duck president at the sunset of his presidency. Instead, President Uhuru Kenyatta is coming out guns blazing to be in this political mix, just as though he is campaigning for another term. All this will be put together in this discussion. I have 2 gentlemen here who will be ventilating on that. They will be giving information about what they understand, and it's now my pleasure to want to invite them to introduce themselves and let's get to know them. I'll start on my right. Karibu.
Asante.
Thank you. Welcome.
Asante sana.
Yeah.
Thanks for inviting me to the show.
Yeah.
My name is Nicholas Kimanzi.
Nicholas Kimanzi.
General Kimanzi, aka.
A.K. General Kimanzi.
Yes.
You're a general in the military, or a general somewhere in politics, or what is it?
I'm a political general.
Political general.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice and it's great. So, where are you leaning? I mean, are you leaning on any side of this coalition?
I'm in Kenya Kwanza coalition.
Kenya Kwanza coalition.
And particularly under UDA, United Democratic Alliance.
UDA.
Yes.
Thank you very much. And on my left?
Thank you very much for invitation. My name is Abur Abdurrahman. I'm a member of KANU and I'm contesting for Nairobi County Senate on a KANU ticket. Right now our coalition is Oka.
One Kenya Alliance.
Yes.
So you are a candidate?
Me, I'm a candidate
on KANU
on
ticket.
Nairobi County.
So that is so interesting, and right now your people will give us so much information about what is happening in Nairobi. And for starters, let us now look at these 2 coalitions. Kenya Kwanza is a beneficiary of a disintegrated One Kenya Alliance, where Mudavadi and Wetangula switched sides and went to join Ruto. On this other side, we have One Kenya Alliance that is still remaining with the 2 political leading lights, Kalonzo Musyoka and Gideon Moi. All this would be so interesting. Let me start with what is happening in Kenya Kwanza. By assumption, do you think, not by assumption really, factually, does Mudavadi and Wetangula bring any amount of influence politically to One Kenya, to Kenya Kwanza Alliance?
Politics is largely perception, not factual. It is what people perceive. As you saw after the earthquake, the president called an impromptu meeting at State House. It tells you that there was a lot of shift in how people started saying when Mudavadi moved to Kenya Kwanza and joined with William Samoei Ruto. So basically there's been this fire that has been sweeping across Western Kenya, and people are just trying to fight. But the fire is it is sweeping.
There's a fire raging Western.
Yes, in the Western desert, and people are scampering, to safety and trying to not to get burned by the fire.
And do you think, by your own assessment, did the shift of Mudavadi and Wetangula actually in some way shake One Kenya Alliance?
It did. I was there. I was at Bomas.
You were at Bomas.
I saw part of the Oka, or former Oka, get into the auditorium And where I was seated, I think there was a conversation that the DP could be coming inside this hall. And then they say that if the DP is one of the guys that is coming, then we are not welcome here. They walked out. A few minutes later, I started seeing UDA allied members of parliament trooping in. So it tells you that even at the time that the earthquake was happening, Oka was still hoping that Mudavadi and Weta were still together in Oka.
So there has been some kind of shift, and it doesn't leave Oka the way it was.
No, Oka is a former share of itself.
Now, Oka Kanu Kanu is a staunch member of Oka. He says that there was this earthquake and you guys felt the heat when Mudavadi and Wetangula shifted. Now it left you guys exposed. The shift was big, fires raging in Western right now. Are you admitting that?
I think my friend is lost because there was no earthquake. And I think, for information, I'm speaking on the point of knowledge, in the sense that I used to be an ANC member. I moved from ANC to Kanu. So I would like to tell him that my party leader, Gideon Moi, and Honorable Musyoka came to the ADC of ANC as friends of Oka. Okay? Before you came, you must be aware that Musalia Mudavadi was in Oka, so you must be aware that it was NDC for ANC. It was not UDA. So what we believe in as KANU, we don't believe in political blackmail. So for your information, that was the consultation. There was surety that are you on our own or you have some strangers. So when my party leader realized that there's some strangers in the house, he had to leave because I'm a very principled man.
So what strangers?
So strangers in the sense that my party leader came to Gideon Moi, specifically ANC, ADC. So there was political conmanship which he realized and he left. I wish by then, now ANC party leader would have said earlier that just come, but there are things going to change. I'm bringing UDA. We could not have seen him. But since there was political blackmail, there was no earthquake, Oka is still alive. And the only thing is, you must be very sure of what you're saying because you have taken a baggage. Right now, you are panicking because why are you always fighting the president? If you are sure of your game, you should not even utter a word on the president as the president is favoring some people. Because you are panicking, you took a baggage.
Okay, and did you admit there is fire raging in
there's
the
no
Western
fire.
region?
I've said there's no fire.
Like this week, this entire week, Kenya Kwanza has been so much dominant. They have done a lot of rallies. In fact, more than 10 rallies within the vast Western region. Is it causing any fires there?
Nick, you know very well, this year we are in politics, election. So even you right now, if you go anywhere on political angle, you'll receive Kenyans who are waiting to hear what you're telling them. So this electioneering here, anybody can pull a crowd. But now what we're waiting for is that crowd. Are you going to change that crowd to your vote? Anybody, you see, right now I can say we're in a mad market. Anybody, for your information, right now I can walk out of this place, I say I'm Senator Buol, I'll get a crowd. The same crowd will listen with you, to you again. So right now, what I'm telling you, why their coalition is confused. In the initial stage, I want to tell the panel, why have we changed from now wheelbarrow to Kenya Kwanza, I don't know Kenya what. I thought your dream was wheelbarrow. So after being fought on wheelbarrow, now you're not even talking about wheelbarrow. And for your information, before you talk of anything on wheelbarrow, I thought wheelbarrow is being made by scrap metal. And the president has scrapped and you are the same person, your party leader is the deputy president. What's happening with the camp?
Okay, now we are moving on. I want us to ask a pertinent question from Oka. Now, there are two major coalitions, Kenya Kwanza and Azimio. Oka seems to be in between. Do you think Oka is prepared to go all the way and make a formidable contribution in these elections?
Oka,
given that even right now you don't have a presidential candidate.
we have a presidential candidate. No. Point of clarification.
Oka doesn't have a presidential candidate.
Point of clarification. As KANU, we have a presidential candidate who is Gideon Moi.
We're talking about Oka.
I want
get us the Oka for fashion. Because we know Gideon Moi has been endorsed by KANU.
Correct.
We know Kalonzo Musyoka has been endorsed by Wiper. Now we are at the level of looking
as
at
we speak.
do they really
as we speak currently?
Are they really forming any force to be contenders in this election?
Yes. And for now, I can tell you, the same way as Azimio, the same way Oka, the same way Kenya, we have not seen anybody that these are presidential candidate. Everybody is still aspirant. So until that time, we submit the papers to the IBC. We'll call ourselves candidates. So for now, I'm telling you, as Oka, we are comfortable and we're ready to control this country, take over this country.
You're joking, my friend.
Let me bring you into this. Now, Kenya Kwanza.
Yes.
It is Ruto who is leading all the way.
Yes.
What, therefore, is the position of Musalia Mudavadi and Wetangula? And by any chance, should that be the formula that will be there? Don't you think a big chunk of UDA will be disenfranchised if they see the Johnny come latelys wanting to shine more than them? Is it a recipe for disintegration of UDA or Kenya Kwanza? This is one thing that we want to look into very deeply. What is there? What is cooking?
First of all, we are at the corporation level at Kenya Kwanza. After the cooperation stage, then we will be able to go into coalition.
What are you cooperating to achieve?
First of all, Mudavadi is speaking about economy. William Samoei Ruto is talking about bottom-up economy. So we are at the point of convergence that we're speaking the same language of economy. So at that point, we say, let's start cooperating and then forge a way forward. You first lay the first stones first, all right? So we are in the process of laying the first stones first, then go into building now this big house called Kenya Kwanza Alliance, so that we consolidate and we harness, our language of economy, because no one else or no other coalition is speaking about economy. And the 2022 politics or the August elections, the main issue is going to be economy. And I think people need to move from the second liberation onwards, because we achieved the second liberation goal of political pluralism, and people can speak and can associate with whoever they want to. That goal has been achieved. We need to move to the next level. The next level is economic liberation. And Musalia and William Samoei Ruto are speaking about the economy. So why not harness these energies or synergize so that we achieve the best macro and micro economics for this country?
Are you in agreement with that? That the time for the hangovers of the second liberation are long gone, and it's now time to fix the economy. Are you in support of that?
I think when I started, I said this is a confused team. First of all, my brother, I'd like to ask you only 3 questions. First question, which you are trying to avoid. Right now, your team, your party leader is the deputy president.
Yes.
Currently,
yes,
in this government,
yes,
of Uhuru Kenyatta.
Yes.
What change does he feel he can add to the next election, which he cannot make right now as deputy president?
Mm-hmm.
Secondly,
yes,
when you talk of corruption, Kenyans are crying of corruption,
yes,
and his name is being mentioned each and every time,
yes,
on corruption.
Yes.
What can he come clear and tell Kenyans? I, William Ruto, as deputy president of Kenya, my name has been mentioned several times on corruption. I'm not corrupt. These are my assets. Secondly, why is it that if there's rumors that he bought Musala Mudavadi 5 billion.
Yes.
Where did he get the money from?
Okay,
Right.
you can't be accounting for rumors.
Yes.
You can't be accounting for rumors, of course, but I think you've asked a pertinent question.
Yeah.
What would Ruto fix that economically that is unable to do right now while he's in government? I think that's a story that people really want to know.
True. One, the person who was given the sword to lead is one Uhuru Kenyatta. I did not see William Samoei Ruto project his hands when Kibaki was giving out the sword of power. It was Uhuru Kenyatta. So the president of the Republic of Kenya is Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. It is not Ruto. So if the economy is to be blamed, or if anything is to go wrong in this country, the buck stops with the president of the republic. Now, Kibaki was the vice president of Moi for more than 10 years, and the economy was doing badly. In fact, Moi was forced to do what you used to have. You merge ministries, and you lay off civil servants so that you get support. From
The policy was a World Bank policy,
Yes.
or it was structural adjustment policy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because the economy was doing so badly. Did that stop Kibaki from doing very well during his tenure?
So,
The answer is
so
no.
you are exonerating the deputy president from this mess and putting it squarely at the doorsteps of Uhuru Kenyatta,
Exactly.
as having been the person who has plundered the economy and not William Ruto.
Exactly.
Are you also insinuating that these two people have been working in total disconnection, because we know the presidency is an item, and Ruto is also the chair of the most powerful economic committee of
Yes.
this country,
Yes.
which actually spells out policies, our fiscal policy from the counties to the national government. Now, if you want to really relate Moi and Uhuru's time, the times have seriously changed. A lot has changed during this time. I don't think that it's prudent to just say that Ruto should have been just a bystander when all this mess was happening, and that Uhuru Kenyatta didn't give him a chance to do this.
Let me ask you, what is the definition of the functions as spelled out in the constitution of a deputy president?
Is to deputize. I mean, is actually deputizing the
Deputize
president.
the president.
Yeah.
Deputize the president.
Yeah.
When the president is out, unless the president assigns him duties, the constitution does not say that in terms of this task, then the president and the deputy president are going to get involved. It is the president who assigned the duties to. If he does not, then the deputy president is just a mere sweeper at the presidency.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how that one sounds. Honestly, I just don't know, and therefore it makes nonsense. Having running this for presidency.
I think I still maintain my stand that this is a confused team, and I still maintain it because, my brother, you know why we got the new constitution? Under the new constitution, we elected the president with the deputy. Under the old constitution, we were only electing the president. Meaning, in the new constitution, the president and deputy are being elected together for one thing. They are working together. You get my point? New constitution. You get my point? So there's no fallacy about William Ruto being given assignment. He had been given assignments, and you know very well. The president gave him a free hand, and he will never get anywhere. The sober president like Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, the president who even gave William Samoei Ruto his own power, that I'm going for when he was going to ICC, he left power to the president to William Samoei Ruto.
There's a difference between
listen,
giving up power and ceding power.
I want to tell you, yes. I want to educate you on one thing. The new constitution and the old constitution. In the old constitution, the president could not dare leave his office to the vice president because the vice president was not being elected. But in the new constitution, if the president believed in the deputy, he can leave the office. And that's what he did. And your party leader celebrated. And in fact, he has been going through around the country doing projects. How can you, is in short, if they just say you can't have a bullet and shoot your own food, or you can't have your cake at the same time. Your party leader is confused, and to the extent he thinks Kenyans are stupid. Even I might tell you today, there comes a time, even fools get tired. Kenyans, we are tired. We are very tired, and cannot be cheated again.
The person who you need to be tired about are the founding thieves of this country.
Who is your party leader? Who is your party leader?
Saying
right now, who is your party leader?
Hold on.
Your party is the most corrupt.
Hold on, Aboro.
But you know very well.
Hold on. Let me control the debate.
You know the country.
Let me control the debate.
So be clear.
Hold on.
Yes, you should start.
Relax.
You should start.
Can you relax?
You should start by saying, my party leader.
I'm running this show. Can you just get relaxed? I'm running this show. Just get relaxed. You say we should cast
corruption.
Just hold on. It's me running the show. I'll give you a time. Just get relaxed. Now, who are these that you mentioned, like
what
pillars of this constitution?
Exactly. If you give time, I'll explain.
Yeah.
We do.
I can give you 2 minutes.
Thank you. We do have the founding thieves of this country.
The founding thieves.
What they mentioned them.
No, it's
Relax.
not in the show. Relax. Do you want to come and host the show? Or relax?
Relax.
Relax.
I don't know why you are agitated. The founding thieves are the ones to blame for the mess that this country finds itself in today. In 1963, when the foundations of this nation were being laid, it was founded on a thieving platform. So today, there are people that are accusing others of being thieves. Yet, half of Kenya belongs to them, of land in Kenya belongs to them. Those are the people we are calling founding thieves. And they are people that want to protect them because they feed from the crumbs that fall from the table that they sit. Now, we need to go back to 1963 and examine where is it that we lost our way, so that you don't come and say that the problems of Kenya start and end with one man, William Samoei Ruto. My friend, 1963, Ruto was not even in a university. He was a young man. So you cannot tell me that those who...
No, he was not even born, actually.
He was not even born. He was not even born. Now, you cannot start blaming the problems of a country 58 years later on one individual, William Samoei Ruto. You are actually diverting the attention of Kenyans. You are distracting them from the real issues. And I want to be very categorical about the speech that was given by His Excellency Musalia Omwami Mudavadi at the Bomas. It spoke to the issues that are affecting this country. But because you want to bury your heads in the sand, you want to start saying, oh, Musalia was bored, or was... Why can't you concentrate on discussing the content of the speech that Musalia gave at the Bomas? Because that is what is ailing us. And until you start speaking truth to power, then we're going to go round in game of a musical chair.
Well, because of time, we'll be forced to have a short break.
No,
we'll be back.
I must answer.
Because of time.
I must answer.
It is time. We must go for the break. That is the way the rule is. It's time. We must go for the break. And I believe you, viewer, wherever you are enjoying this moment. And times are becoming hard. You see, UDA and let's say Kenya Kwanza are taking this thing back 1963. Just where did we start getting this beating? Then we have this other side that think and believe that all this mess we are in today has been as a result of William Samoei Ruto and co being part and parcel of the same system that was wrecked at the independence. How good or how bad this would be is in the next phase of this discussion. So please don't go away. Welcome, viewer. If you're joining us right now, we are on with the Cardinal Talk Show. This show that actually brings you matters politics. And there's no any other place that it would be said better, candidly, like it's being said on this very show. My name is Nico Kelo. I'm with Mr. Nzioka, who is Nicholas Kimanzi,
yes,
who is a UDA member and really is religiously guarding their side of the story. And I have Abdulrahman Abor here, who is also a KANU member and also an aspiring senator in Nairobi, who seems to be throwing all problems on this other side of UDA and Kenya Kwanza. Yes, as we were going for the break, it was understood here that, well, we should get facts right. It is not now that the problems of Kenya have been birthed. The problems of Kenya began some 60 years ago. And the only problem perhaps that we've had is that we've not had administrations that have squarely sorted out the problems as they were under independence. That is what is being felt here. However, there's also this other side that feels that much as the problems were there in the last 60 years, somebody or some people have been trying to fan the problems to unprecedented levels where Kenyans can't even see anything good with their independence. And this is the bone of discussion here. I remember as they were leaving for the short break, Abor here was nearly shooting off his seat because he felt Nicholas wasn't giving something that he felt is good for us. I mean, what did you want to dispute on this?
Okay, I would like to tell my colleague Nicholas.
Just face your camera. I mean,
okay, Nicholas. Yeah. For your information, history of Kenya is very clean. And my dad is part of the history. He wrote a book, White Islands No More. So I understand.
Which book?
White Islands No More.
White Islands
No More.
Stuff
with your book, my dad. So in top of history of this nation, I understand it better. And I would like to go on the history part of the nation because our leaders were very good and they meant well for the nation. And that's why Kenyans are given opportunity every 5 years to go for election. And that's why his party leader was elected with Uhuru Kenyatta as Jubilee candidates. And they won the election. Okay? So I want to tell you, if as a leader, if there's an issue concerning the nation, you don't bring history. You handle that issue as it is. When you talk of corruption in Kenya, and you know very well your party leader is being mentioned each and every time, even Langata primary, these things are very clear. So he should come out and tell Kenyans that I, William Samoei Ruto, I'm not corrupt, and these are my things. And for your information, you guys have been talking of history. I know what you're trying to bring across. I'm proud and I'm a KANU member. I don't fear anybody. And instead of just becoming clear that you guys are targeting Uhuru Kenyatta's family about the land issue, Uhuru has been very clear. Uhuru did not grab any land in Kenya. He's not Kenyatta, the founder president. You must differentiate the two. Uhuru is on his own. Uhuru Mugai Kenyatta. His father was called Jomo Kenyatta. So right now, I don't even know Samuel William Ruto's dad, and I respect family so much. So I rather deal with somebody whom I'm seeing. So if I talk of corruption, I look at Gideon Moi, I see a very clean hand. It has not been mentioned on corruption anywhere. I see William Ruto this side, I see corrupt. I see Musala Mudavadi corrupt. I see Wetangula corrupt. And when they left office, we knew these are people who are going to mess us up. Musala Mudavadi, ask Musala Mudavadi, where is the cemetery? Ask Wetangula, where is the embassy? And tell me.
Which embassy?
He knows.
Okay, before you even go into that, he mentioned here that your party, KANU, is part of the dark history of this country. And your party leader, Gideon Moi, perhaps has not done so much to cleanse the party out of the wrongdoings that the party did in 24 years of its reign. Because your former party leader, who is now is resting, let him rest in peace, the network teacher of Moi, presided over, the worst times of this country.
Thank you, and I knew that was coming. I want to make Kenyans understand that in this history of Kenya, we had only one party. We had several parties, but finally, we ended up having one party called KANU, which is the founding party of Kenya, KANU, which has produced how many presidents? Jomo Kenyatta and His Excellency Daniel Arap Moi. And up to that time, Moi maintained peace of this nation until 1982 coup, if you're not aware. At that point, that coup, to date, people pretend that it was Kanu mistake. It wasn't a Kanu mistake. Just like now, we know Uhuru Kenyatta is the president. I cannot go and confront the State House. I cannot go for coup if I'm a super leader. I can only go wait for the votes. So what happened? We need history. You wanted history. Let me teach history. We want to go back to the history and see where did Kanu make a mistake. Kanu is just a party. If you make a mistake as an individual, that's an individual. Right now, this is not my first time to be here. I've been telling you, one day you leave Lolwe TV. But Lolwe TV will remain the Lolwe TV. Right now, Kanu is a party, is clean, and we talk of Kanu fresh. Because Kanu is the only party with fresh leaders. Like me, I'm going for senatorial position. I'm very young, my age is my age for leadership. And I don't believe anybody can defeat me in this Nairobi. I'm very sure I'm going to win. So listen, I want to tell Kenyans that right now, Kanu treat Kanu as the mother of all the parties. Uhuru Kenyatta was a chairman of the party. William Ruto was youth wing of the party. Musalia Mudavadi was the vice chairman of the party. Raila Amolo Odinga was secretary general of the party. So this party has not done anything wrong to Kenyans. Instead, it has helped Kenyans to have something called love, peace, and unity. Our motto is love, peace, and unity. So if I'm attacking individuals, I'm not attacking a party. Right now, if I talk of William Ruto being corrupt, he's corrupt as William Ruto. I don't know you. I know you are a very respectable person. I can't touch your personality because you are older. But your party is corrupt. Musalia Mudavadi is corrupt.
Okay, so no problem. These are things that have been flying all around. I want us to change a little bit.
No, I need to respond.
You have a right to respond to that. Maybe in the next 2 minutes, and then we change to another thing.
Thank you. I need to remind my colleague that there was a lifestyle audit that was done for one specific individual, William Samoei Ruto. Even the media, several media has run the story and say William Ruto owns this, William Ruto owns this, and those that they did not mention, my party leader actually had it to them that they did not mention that I have Safaricom shares worth this much. So, in terms of whether you want to do lifestyle audit, William Samoei Ruto has been very clear.
So it's you talking still, but I want you to go along with this.
Yes.
It's only William Samoei Ruto that this exercise was undertaken to.
Exactly.
Why?
Every other politician.
It was supposed to be for all leaders.
No, these people, they make laws with William Ruto in mind. Now, that is the problem. Because when you have a government that is targeting an individual and changing laws so that you target an individual, not posterity of the nation, then you have a problem. Secondly, William Ruto, as we speak, has not been taken to court over the corruption issues that you're talking about. Today, the president of Kenya enjoys or has the advantage of the best intelligence, if not in Africa, in the world. It therefore means that if there are files that implicate William Samoei Ruto, then the DCI have them. Then the intelligence must be having them. So what is this difficult? What is this difficult thing that people have failed to do by compiling all the files that are implicating William Samoei Ruto and taking William Samoei Ruto to court and proving beyond reasonable doubt that William Samoei Ruto is a corrupt person, then he is unfit to hold public office? They have not done it. These are things that are done in the public podium. They prosecute in the public podium. And yet, our courts have the mandate to prosecute these cases. So it tells you that it is politics. If it was not politics, then they would have presented the evidence to the courts and prosecuted their matter and have William Samoei Ruto declared unfit to run or to hold public office. So those are innuendos. Yes.
Thank you. I think we'll have it rest there. Let's have it rest there because of time. We get to other things. What he said makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah. If there's any other reason why somebody is being felt is corrupt, we have all our institutions that are charged with finding all these things and then prosecuting them as
correct him on one point.
Well,
Just one point.
what you say would be there, but I want us to change.
I want us to change.
It's enough. It's enough for corruption. It's me who's running this. It's enough for the corruption thing. It's been said enough times. Now, I'm back to you for UDA.
Yes.
We're witnessing a very unprecedented moment in this country, should I say in the whole world, where we are seeing a deputy who is in office working at cross purposes with his party, with his boss, who is the president. Is it democracy at play? Are we now extracting the goodness of the new constitution for freedom of speech and association? Are we now deciding that it's freedom to do everything, including, exchanging verbally with your boss, the President of the Republic of Kenya, and, it doesn't really go well sometimes. Now, what informs this? As people of UDA, what is this that has really annoyed you guys? What is it that you guys cannot go and sit down again as a people who are friendly in the Jubilee government, and then you make it look even at least tidier? Because this is so untidy to the population, even to our kids. They know then. Even as people work in Lolwe TV will say you can go and tell your boss off, which is not the practice that we know. What is it that is so wrong? What is it that you guys can't sit down and then make together?
First, I would not want to speak on behalf of William Samoei Ruto. Neither do I want to speak for Mr. or Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta.
The President Uhuru Kenyatta.
President Uhuru Kenyatta. But having said that, I think it's important that people do not take respect as a one-way traffic. Respect is two-way. It is two-way. You don't demand respect. People earn respect. And so, if today, 10 years ago, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta, come together with the Deputy President, William Samoei Ruto, and they decide that we're going to form a government. And they merged TNA and URP together. And the gentleman's agreement is that yangu kumi, yako kumi. Now, it is very rare in a politician's life to cede your ambition for a decade so that you support your friend. It is not very easy. Even for those who sign coalition agreements, they do them for 5 years. 5 years. Because under the context of Kenyan constitution, the social contract runs for 5 years. Right? But William Samoei Ruto said, yes, we're coming together, and I'm going to give you support for 10 years. 10 years. And you give your all, and you deliver your part of the bargain. And then, once you are sworn in for the second term, right, then you want to turn back against your friend and say, boss, I think we have a problem here. So you cannot keep your word, yet I have kept my part of the bargain. So now I have become an enemy because you're going for your last term. You've been sworn in for your last term. That is hypocrisy of the highest order. Because men must learn to live by their words. Your word must be taken to the bank and people draw cash from it. If your yes must be remaining yes, your no must be remaining no. So today we have a problem because, Nick, one man has benefited for the support of another for 10 years. And when this other person wants a return, now is being accused of all manner of things. I am asking, because my friend also mentioned that William Samoei Ruto is this, William Samoei Ruto is that, and Musalia and cemetery and blah blah blah. I'm asking, when William Samoei Ruto was working for Uhuru Kenyatta in 2013 and 2017, didn't he know that William Samoei Ruto was corrupt? Or as the corruption started, immediately William Samoei Ruto decided that I'm going for the presidency. And I know in this country there are people who sit here and they are a clandestine group that decide that for anyone to become president, then we must give that presidency to him. He must come begging to us so that we give him that. The problem with William Samoei Ruto, the only mistake he made is to say that I do not recognize this clandestine group calling itself, I don't know, deep state, I don't know, whatever names you want to give them. He said, the presidency is being given by Kenyans, and I'm going for it. I don't care. That is where the problem is. People want others to beg and to leave all their needs. Something that William Samoei Ruto is not willing to do.
Let me bring in a word from Kano. It says true that Ruto feels like a jilted lover, that after honoring his side of the bargain, is time for reciprocation now turns out to be a total betrayal of sorts, and therefore he feels that now he has to take his charge himself and run away with this thing in total disregard of who is in power and what they will say. Do you think Ruto is exhibiting ambition, or is he a renegade deputy president?
Ruto is exhibiting total ignorance. Ignorance in the sense that he forgets that he's the deputy president in this government. It's total ignorance because right now he's the deputy president, and in the same government, his team is beating the same government on corruption. Deputy president. Secondly, I would like to tell my colleague here that his party leader should have what is called leadership integrity. If you're a leader and you have integrity, if you feel things are not being done in the right way because you are wasting taxpayers' money, you resign. Dignity, integrity. I only believe and I witnessed one leader, okay? And that's Raila Amolo Odinga. He did it in 97 when he was in Fort Kenya. In record history, Raila differed with Kijana Wamalo. Raila left, he resigned as an MP, if you're not aware, my brother. Raila resigned. Raila dared, by then, KANU was very strong in Langata. Raila dared the KANU regime and went for fresh election because the power belongs to the people. The power does not belong to Uhuru Kenyatta. The power does not belong to William Samoei Ruto. So it means that if they differ, we entrusted them with our votes. So if they differ in their kitchen, they don't need to bring it outside. Fight inwardly, organize your house in order, okay? Then tell Kenyans, after the president has finished his term, Kenyans now, I, Samoei William Ruto, have done my term with the president 10 years. Now I want you kindly entrust me with leadership. But he has done vice versa. He's not integrity.
So now my question was simple. Are we seeing a renegade deputy president who is disregarding what is supposed to be the natural course of order, where you have to respect your boss? Or are we seeing somebody here who feels is now being betrayed and has to chart his own course? And is he even wrong in the first place?
We are seeing a corrupt deputy president who is arrogant to the nation, not even to the president, to the Kenyans. I, as a Kenyan, who is a voter, I feel irritated because he's calling us of our taxpayers' money. If he's a man enough, my brother, you look young, very intelligent, ask your party leader to give you that position. You can be appointed the president through the parliament, by deputy president.
Okay. Now, as we go on, you guys are claiming that William Ruto, and I think it's funny that you feel he's been betrayed, and that is why he's all over and is expressing this in a very strong term. And even as he expresses this, I want us to also understand that yes, what then does it portend for the future generations? Are we seeing a prospect of us going to change this constitution once again and amend it to have deputies that can be whipped by their bosses to behave in a particular way? Because then, if we have a constitution that allows a deputy to run amok when he feels like, because he's betrayed, then we are setting up ourselves to a very, very dangerous time. Maybe sometime in future, it won't be something, what we are seeing here, it will be something so great and bad sometimes to this country. What do you think, therefore, should be done? Now, let's stop talking like politicians of both sides. Let's talk like Kenyans who want to see our constitution progressive. We want to see our constitution actually give us the results we deserve. We want to see our constitution actually build for us a future that is guaranteed, and not what we are seeing right now, because it's not auguring well for the future. What should be done?
Now, let's get first the history of the Constitution 2010. The reason we had, or those that went to the bombers, and Kenyans spoke, and they said, under the new constitution that we are making, we want a deputy president that is elected jointly with the president. Why? The history is this, that if you differ with the president, then you got fired any day. You could actually be during your duties on the road, and the president announces that I have sacked my vice president. And all this ridicule. And so we wanted to protect the office of the deputy president. That is why it was put in the constitution. So,
and are we living up to the there's the letter of the constitution, and
yes.
then there's the spirit. Now, are we living the spirit really by what we are seeing?
Now, we may need, because nobody wants to have a working environment that does not,
That's hostile.
That is very hostile. Granted. But now, does that mean that you can now pee on your deputy president just because?
Not really.
Not exactly. And that's why I say the issue of respect. You need to give your deputy president respect. And he also needs to give you respect. Because the deputy president is a president in waiting.
As you conclude,
Yes.
What we are seeing, should we have another amendment to the office of the deputy president that perhaps would rein in a deputy president to not behave the way we are saying? Because imagine what our neighboring countries are hearing of our deputy president and the president. It's such a bad story.
What is wrong with the deputy president?
I mean, we are seeing a situation where anybody would now would turn renegade, refuse to work for Kenyans as a deputy president, and then would say, you can't sack me.
The deputy president has been working for Kenyans since 2018.
No, so we don't need to amend the constitution.
We don't. The constitution is very, very okay. And
so what William Ruto is doing for you is okay.
The William Samoei Ruto I know has been working for Kenyans.
I'm asking a question. Is what William Ruto doing right now the right thing for a deputy president to do? And is it the right manners to show even the younger generation?
No, that is very fine. People must unless there's a law that he has broken, then you people need to take deputy president to court and say you've broken this law and this law. As long as there's no one who has gone to court, please.
I'll post this question on this side, and
yes.
I'm told we only have 2 minutes to go.
Yes.
Do you think time has come that we've seen a constitution that actually gives us so much leeway for a deputy president to do what he wants, or gives a president too much powers again to do what he wants with the deputy? Do we need to amend some section of this law to bring decorum and also bring order into the presidency?
Nick, I'll tell my fellow Kenyans that our constitution is very good. We don't need to amend the constitution. First of all, it is the leadership integrity which people are not taking serious. So that clause of integrity need to be taken serious.
So we don't need to amend the presidency.
You don't need to amend. So
you're okay next time we get a deputy president who will be falling out with the boss, things will be like this, and it's okay.
Under kind of leadership, and that's why I'm forging for my party leader. He don't want to bring the presidency. We are so organized that you cannot even bring this shame. Jubilee is bringing to the Kenyans now. Secondly, before I finish, I would like to tell my colleague here, if at all you will find in Kenya history the president who is so organized and respect the deputy is Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. I want to tell you for the free.
Because of time. Because of time.
Just remind you.
I'll have to cut you short. My question was, do we amend sections of the
amend.
So let's stop at that. Next time again, we'll have to call you guys for this. I know because of time, we have to respect time, and that is what we say. Leadership and integrity is about respecting time. Again, as leaders, we have to do that. So I'm concluding this by asking you just for 30 seconds.
Yes.
What made your week this? What actually captured your imagination this week? The week that it's been politically all around.
In less than 30 seconds, the president has refused to give power. The president has refused to cede power. The president has just realized that his time is up. So we are telling Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta, kindly,
President Uhuru Kenyatta,
kindly, your tenure of 10 years is over.
No, it will be over by August.
It is over. There's nothing that you can do right now that you've not done in the last 10 years.
So you think Uhuru Kenyatta is beginning now?
Please leave Kenyans alone to chart their future alone.
Mr. Bor,
Thank you very much.
In less than 30 seconds.
I want to tell you very, very fast that President Uhuru Kenyatta has done well.
What captured your mind? Just what captured your imagination? Yeah, let's go with by the rules of the
What captured my imagination is whereby one fact, the deputy president who is sleeping on the job is not seeing that Kenyans are suffering. Right now, scrap metal dealers are crying. The same deputy president who claimed to be very close with Juakali members is not seeing that the asset of Juakali members is the scrap metal and is being grabbed by the same government who is serving. Kindly, Mr. William Samoei Ruto, tackle that issue of scrap metal.
I remember that is President Uhuru Kenyatta who made that ban, and it's coming to effect, I think, in the next few days before us. Well, it's been interesting having these two gentlemen here, like you had, is from UDA, is from KANU, and they want to really skin one another here politically. But then that is politics. All that we've said here is politics. However, what we've gathered here is that as a people, there is every essence and reason for us to come together and know that politics is just a seasonal thing. I hope and believe that hatred doesn't really take root in this electioneering period. I also want to believe that when we talk about things like this, we ventilate them, and therefore we also release a lot of pent-up emotions by talking about them. To our leaders who are out there, we hope and believe that you are promising our people something good that will make them feel that they have some proper leaders and that they can be proud of this nation going forward. I also want to take very, very serious cognizance of the fact that we've had serious voter apathy since the advent of multi-party democracy in this Kenya. And it goes on to inform a lot of things that we'll be discussing in subsequent episodes. Just why are Kenyans suddenly deluded about voter registration? And if this is the trend, what would it be on the August voting day? Would we be seeing another round of crazy voter apathy? Would they fail to go and vote? These are matters that must be ventilated upon, and we must look at what is the root cause of all these problems. However, I want to say thank you very much to you gentlemen for having found time to be here. I hope next time we call you along, you will be here. And I wish you well in all your endeavors politically. And to you, the viewer, it's wonderful that you are with us. I hope and believe next time we shall be here right again. Do it right the same way.
True.
Thank you.
Thank you.